Howdy, Mitchell.
Howdy, Elizabeth.
This is our new podcast called Howdy, Theologian.
I love it.
I do too.
Howdy. What a name.
Howdy. Why did we choose Howdy?
Well, because we are in Dallas, Texas, and we live in a very howdy-filled state. There's a lot of howdy as a greeting. We love big techs.
Yeah, from the State Fair.
Howdy, folks.
Howdy, folks.
Do you know big techs is like one of my favorite things to do at the State Fair?
What do you mean? How do you
eat
do
a Fletcher
big techs?
corn dog right next to big techs and get your picture made.
Oh, yeah.
For the gram.
It's very iconic.
Exactly. So howdy is a great greeting.
Yeah.
And theologian, because we're all theologians.
Ooh, say more about that.
Well, we all have something to say about God, right? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but we all have something we're saying about God all the time. And so it's really important to see ourselves as theologians in today's world. And so we want to equip people to do that well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I think we all are either denying or affirming or responding to the way that God shows up in our world. And whether that's we're rejecting it or moving towards it or living into that idea of God or shifting our idea of God, I think you're right. We're all ultimately theologians. And then howdy is this lovely greeting.
Salutation.
It is. You know, it actually
didn't start in Texas.
It didn't start in Texas.
No, not
even
at the
though
State Fair?
It's so associated with Texas and really a lot of like cowboy Western theme culture, right?
Yes.
I feel like I can just picture the word howdy printed on a wall somewhere, like in rope lettering.
Yeah.
So it definitely has that Western connotation.
Totally.
But it actually came from England.
Okay. So it's an English word.
It's an English phrase that was
a phrase
smushed into one word.
What's the phrase?
It was a phrase inquiring after someone's well-being. So the phrase was, how do ye? How do ye was the English phrase, and it shows up actually, they found the first kind of iteration of howdy or how do ye was in some plays like in the 15th century or something.
Really?
Yeah. And it was like kind of something servants would say, because again, it's like this conjunction of this phrase, how do ye? And so it ended up being like howdy, and the spelling and the kind of iteration, but like howdy do is how do you do? So
right.
So howdy is an English phrase that it is a conjunction of how do ye.
So essentially we're saying, how are you?
Yeah.
Right? So how are you, theologian?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very Wesleyan, actually.
Ooh.
How is it with your soul?
That is Wesleyan.
Yeah.
How are you? How do you do? How's it going?
So this entire podcast that we're launching is focused on asking the question, how are you doing, theologian? And that's a question we're going to be asking for the folks who subscribe. Like each week, we're going to try to help make our theology practical and applicable in a modern world, right?
Yeah, and we're going to be looking at specific words, theological terms that are maybe overused or underused, or nobody really knows how to use them.
Poorly defined or poorly used.
Exactly. Certainly that the church, I think, over time has used to harm. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is our opportunity to kind of help define or redefine these words for a progressive theology in today's world.
Love it. It's going to be fun. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Talk theology. But not in a stuffy environment. So, if you're ready to like rethink, reimagine the words that you use to talk about your faith, we want you to click that subscribe button and join us for this awesome journey.
Heck yeah.
Howdy, theologian.
Howdy.